Oh no. There it goes.
Do we have audio?
No, we're good.
Hello! Welcome back to Melor on the Goblin Conspiracy. Happy New Year! Wow, it's 2022. We have a special little bonus stream today. It's kind of last minute, so we don't have a question of the week. So I think we'll just dive into our intro then, unless anyone has any thoughts.
I actually thought of a question, if that's all right.
Okay.
That I suppose we can answer quickly if you want, or maybe we can come back to it later since we didn't have prep time. We all came from slightly different backgrounds. Do you think your characters had any like New Year's-esque celebrational holidays, and what would they be like? Maybe we could answer these after break or something, so everybody has time to think about it.
Do you have one in mind for Io?
I think I've got the start of one, so I can go first if that would make everybody more comfortable.
I have some ideas brewing.
So as a at the start of like a new year and all of that kind of stuff, they have basically a day that they cut out, and it kind of works with their with her home's calendar, which is slightly separate than maybe some others, where they kind of just cut out a day. And this isn't like this is a day where nobody is supposed to work or do anything good. It's supposed to be or like productive. It's supposed to be a giant festival where everybody eats and has funs and competes in various like athletic tournaments, and also make various offerings to gods for the next new year.
Very nice. I mean, I got something that is pretty boring. I imagine Nora's New Year's celebrations are very akin to what they are in the States, where people just get raging drunk and sing songs at the top of their lungs and long into the night. I imagine when she was younger, they were probably a little more tame. Not by much, but a little. But definitely when she got older and was like meeting people from around the world and adventuring, they got pretty wild. Yeah.
I have no fascinating cultural insights surrounding this other than just like a nerdy history knowledge of the fact that like pretty sure usually like most desert societies usually have some kind of solstice celebration and equinox celebration, so I imagine for them it's probably just one of those. I don't think it's like it's a new year. I think it's more like it's a new season, and the one that would align with this one is just like the sun's coming back. I mean, I would equate it to like just any random like pagan tribal religion that surrounds this time. Like Yule is just like, hey, the days are getting longer again. It's not as dark anymore. So I imagine it's probably just something like that. It's like, especially the desert, it's freezing cold at night in most deserts. So they're probably like, hey, we get to go back to being really hot instead of really cold. Let's go.
Do you think that would be a good thing? I imagine they would. I feel like it would be almost like a mournful time when the sun is coming back and will be an oppressive heat again.
I feel like in general, there's not much to be happy about with the weather cycles of deserts. So they're probably just like, it's changing. The sun was straight to the south. Look at us go. Wait, what hemisphere is the desert in, Corinna? Do I get to know what hemisphere the desert's in, north or south?
Imagine they'd all be in the same or similar hemisphere.
Really? Are they like all in the same? Like Melor's not that.
Yeah, it's not. Melor is not the whole world, so I think everything is in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, the sun was like southmost today. Look at us go. That's probably what they were like, yep. It's the coldest.
I love when the sun is southmost.
I guess it would also be like the coldest day of the year for them in a way, because it's the longest night. I imagine their celebration is hiding in a cave around a fire all night long.
Telling stories, perhaps?
Yeah. Mayhaps.
Most winter celebrations include just eating a lot and getting wasted around a big fire.
All right, you know what I would do if I were them and I was like, and I had a holiday centered around sitting around a fire telling stories? I would have somebody doing magic and using the smoke of the fire to tell like create imagery and to tell like ancestral
Didn't it happen
stories.
in Brother Bear?
I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know. I don't know what
Ryan's
Brother Bear
literally just
is.
ripping off like every Disney movie about some
Like,
form
I'm
of
pretty sure
like
that's a thing in Brother
indigenous
Bear. Like,
people ever. That's pretty much
Uh,
it's just like
we need to rewatch. Okay, Ryan, we need to rewatch Brother Bear also because that movie
watch.
slaps.
I've never watched it.
Oh my,
I
we're
watched
watching
it when I
Brother
was like
Bear.
a kid.
The
I feel
music
like
in that
I've
movie
seen Brother Bear.
slaps.
I haven't seen Brother Bear. In fact, I don't even know who
What?
I'm stealing from. I don't think
Oh
I've seen any of the
oh my
things that you're
God.
saying.
I haven't seen
This
anything,
is,
and I've seen Brother Bear.
what was I to say? Like, we're gonna
I've
remedy
seen
this.
Encanto 4 times.
Oh my god. Anyway, shall we get into it?
Get into it.
Woo.
Yeah.
Let's play that intro. All right. Last we left off, our patchwork team of adventurers came out of their camp with one less person than they came with originally because of an unexpected bandit attack by bandits that seemed kind of confused, who were targeting their cart rather than them personally, and it became a bit of a dispute that ended with a head rolling. And so now I believe our little team is on the road to the next city.
The attack may not have been about them personally, but Io took it personally.
Very, very
Mhm.
personally. Ooh. I always
Alrighty.
forget we have music.
Yeah,
forget
I
to
forget
turn off.
too.
It's so funny because the stream always has that little like little.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right,
We're
so
professionals.
you recalled last time that you still have about a day's travel until the closest city because Nora, you grew up around here, you remember. So can one of you make a survival check to see
I'll
how
pass.
your journey goes?
I have a +4 to survival.
Yeah, you got
I
that.
think it should be you.
Sounds pretty good.
Can I make advantage with friends?
Fine.
Oh,
Is anyone helping me?
I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, no, just one roll.
oh, you should have given me advantage because I rolled a 4, so I have an 8 total.
All right, 8.
Hate you
God.
guys. Kicking you off my
I mean, it's a bumpy road. Boris is getting very, very distracted. You get lost in kind of some like bristles,
brush.
bushes,
Brussels sprouts.
brush. Listen, it's fine. But eventually you do, after much longer than you think it should take, by nightfall, you begin to see some lights on the horizon. You think you're nearing whatever city this may be.
Sick.
But what was supposed to be about maybe less than a half day's travel is now almost dusk.
Gosh. You guys could find ways to help. It's not like your help, like
You just got a little too confident with the
I
universe.
mean, Io can't look around. We aren't chopping trees or anything. Which
you
she's
could
very good
hold
at.
the reins on Boris or something. Like there's things that can be done.
My animal handling is -3.
I don't care. Anywho,
Right,
Um,
as you're arguing, you come across a little wooden sign that says, "Welcome to Wakefield." As you start to come up
Wakefield.
upon a light stone wall and a large arched opening with gates that you presume leads into the
Have
city.
Have I ever been to Wakefield?
Make a history check. Not history check. Make a, what would that be? Intelligence? Memory?
History is fine
a
History.
if you
memory
want.
check.
Listen, my
No,
brain is
you're,
gone today.
you're fine.
I rolled a 8.
You're not really sure.
Okay.
A lot of the like smaller cities kind of blend together in your mind.
This
Mm.
isn't a coastal city, right?
It is.
Have I been here?
Make a history check.
I'll take that. Boo, 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 19.
You have absolutely stopped by it or like used it as a little rest stop to go through because there are docks. And there is a single elven guard with simple armor and a sword at her hip standing at the gate as you approach with your boar and your cart.
There's a lot more elves around than I anticipate.
She looks at all of you and just kind of says, "Hello, state your business."
Just passing through. We would like to maybe stay the night, of course, but we're on our way further north, so
All right, you got any weapons on you?
just this, and I hold up my whip. Just for
That's
And
actually more
this
of a
guy. I
tool. It
point
is
to
for the
Boris. I'm like,
boar.
it's just for Boris.
And what is your collective affiliation?
We are independent. We are actually looking for work. If
No, no, collective. Where are you from? Are you from Asai?
Oh,
Here, here.
I'm from Listier, southern Listier.
I am loyal to Listir.
All right, and you?
I am from the desert.
She just kind of sighs and just laughs. Goes, "All right, feel free to go through."
Thank you. I throw an apple for Boris to go.
I also
First, you only hit the door before it opens because he's so excited.
forgot to
What were you saying?
mention, but I do literally have a bow like on my back, so I guess I didn't need to
I-
declare that one.
She didn't ask.
Yeah, I mean, I failed to mention her demeanor was like she was tired and just like the end of a day. She just wants to make sure you don't kill any murderers. All right, so you come into the city, and the sun is going down, but you are still hit immediately with the welcoming sounds of like hustle and bustle, the smell of salt whisking along the winds of the nearby shore that you can see as you go beyond the walls. You can see clearing through the trees, the shoreline, and some docks. The archway leads you in what you assume to be the central city square of Wakefield, which houses a beautiful and carved fountain that you remember seeing carvings on the archway going through as well. With my notes, it depicts things like battles at sea and various plants such as sea buckthorn and apple blossoms. And then when you walk into the city square, there's a large fountain with some kind of similarly carved stone with a sculpted figure of a woman overlooking it.
Very nice.
So there are storefronts, there's what appears to be a tavern, there's a large wooden board with colorful notes tacked to it. You can see children playing in front of some like smaller homesteads and boisterous laughter from, again, you can assume to be the tavern. So what do you do?
This appears to be a very healthy town.
When I look at the docks, can I see my ship? I don't think it'll be here, but
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna use a different dice. Ooh. Oh my gosh! Another 4. That's a total of 10.
No.
Okay. I was rolling so well before stream, and this is
I'm so sorry. No, you do not see your ship.
sadness. Okay. Well,
Oh, and you also see a smaller building with a painted envelope on the side of it.
painted envelope?
Like someone painted an envelope.
I'm going to check out the I'm gonna check out the board with all the notes on it.
All right, you walk up to it. It has like a lot of colorful notes with different handwriting posted to it. You can assume through what writing is legible, it was some kind of like neighborhood help board, like I need help getting this, or my horse ran off somewhere. But right now it seems a lot of them you can't actually make out what they're asking for because they've been stamped with a really large symbol.
Do I recognize that symbol?
Make a history check.
No, I do not.
What's the number?
6.
It
I'll
was it was an incredibly low DC because you absolutely know it is the symbol of the league.
Oh God.
I was just
Um,
messing with you.
all
No, it is
right.
the large the teardrop swirl insignia of the league.
Mm,
However,
right.
there are some notes that don't have the league stamped on them, and they mostly mention letters not being delivered and missing packages. And there's a bunch of notes following that same theme.
Okay.
You said the league symbol was a teardrop?
I can send you a picture of it. It's like a teardrop with like a thing in the middle.
Okay.
I'm going to like I don't need the names. Ryan doesn't need the names, but I was going to look at some of the look at the names written on the list of people complaining about their packages not being fulfilled for
Yeah.
further investigations later.
Sure thing. And you do
So, all right, well, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of work here because the League of Listeer, unsurprisingly, has that under control. There are some missing packages, and we do have some business, perhaps, with the messengers, so we
Hmm.
can, so that we can communicate with Cassandra. That is not a good word for me to say. And uh, we should communicate with Cass, and I don't know what else to do here, actually.
Maybe we can find. Sorry, I'm chewing on an apple.
Uh-huh. Nice
Oh,
rainbow apple you got there.
that was Nora apologizing.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we can find a place to stay for the night, at the least. Um, and perhaps in the morning we can investigate more into the missing packages and all that jazz. Although I wonder why the League hasn't already dealt with it. It seems like all of these are related.
Perhaps, or it's just a or it's not a problem of, or it's not a problem like that, and it's simply, you know, a bad messenger.
I feel like if it happens that many times, something a little worse than a messenger. But that's just my gut feeling.
Oh yeah, by the way, Matt, do you have the music high enough to hear?
No, I don't. It's hard to tell without like listening to the stream because
Mm,
I have one bar that indicates how loud everything that isn't me is. So if someone
Oh,
else
that's
is talking, I have no indication of how loud the music is.
mm.
So, but
Hey, let's just head into the message I'm just gonna go into the building with that envelope.
you walk up to it and you see that it's actually closed. You arrived just around that.
All right, well then we will get the place to stay then.
Yeah, they're definitely not wanting to talk to us right now.
Mm.
All right, you look around and you find the tavern that had a lot of laughter coming from it. And it is named the Tucked Inn with the
The tucked in.
and tavern.
That's so cute.
And you walk in. The interior is extremely warm in both temperature and atmosphere. There's like a small fireplace opposite the wall, and there's a dark wood bar counter. There are only a few people in there, but the people that are there seem to definitely be enjoying themselves.
Mm.
And behind the counter, you see a dwarven man that looks very kind, very cheery.
Dwarven man that looks kind. How sweet.
I'm gonna walk up to the dwarven man.
I don't
Hello
think
there.
Io should be making the conversation.
Why not?
Out of the most charming people in this group, I don't think Io is one of them.
Excuse me? Name your charisma score right now.
Hold on, I gotta pull it up. 17.
I also have a 17.
Wow.
What is the fighter doing with a charisma of 17, I wonder? I don't know. Tell me when you figure that
No.
out. Uh,
No plans for
hello there. We are actually looking for work.
A place
Would
to
you have
stay
anything
is
for us?
priority, though. We would like to have a place to stay first, Io.
I could definitely help with a place to stay, as this is the Tucked In Welcome. I'm Leonard Tuck. I hope you enjoy your stay. How many rooms are you looking for?
How expensive is it per night?
Not very. I'd say for one room, you give it 2 silver.
Um, in that case, I will cover our stay for tonight, and hands 1 gold. Um, and could the remaining silver be used to cover meals for today and tomorrow morning?
Oh, sure thing. I should say, we've been having some delivery issues with certain meals. We don't have a lot of food stock at the moment.
Yes, I'm actually curious about that. Is there anything, do you know the source of this?
Not really. We've had wine shortages up and down for a bit, but the food thing is relatively new. It's mostly bread, which is kind of an important aspect of a meal that we're
Wh
missing.
Where do you get your wine?
We usually get the shipments from the Mountain Wilds, but it's been up and down lately.
So it sounds
Mm.
like the modern wild trade routes are having some trouble. Perhaps somebody would be interested in paying someone to take care of that.
Oh, I don't want to meddle in that kind of business. I can just get another supplier.
We can.
And I own this establishment, but I don't have a lot of money.
No worries, I wasn't implying you. Thank you so much for your patronage.
Of course. Enjoy your room.
Io is going to walk into her room.
Okay.
Is there a mirror?
No, there's not.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
It is a very, like, this place is really small. It's built entirely out of, like, really dark, warm wood. And so it's just, like, panels and, like, it doesn't really even have a lot of furniture. It's, like, a bed, kind of nightstand shelf, and, like, a little rack to put a bag.
Hmm. Very nice. Very nice.
Is there anything you'd like to do in the tour?
Nora's gonna get. Oh my gosh, the echo, sorry. Nora's gonna get probably like an ale from the bar and sort of not sit far away from the people having a good time, but kind of like chillaxing close by just to kind of overhear their conversation.
No, no, I almost said Nora again. Io is also going to walk into the main like thoroughfare, and she's going to look for any mysterious man in a dark cloak sitting in a corner with a room, or anybody with a large golden exclamation point floating over their head.
Make a perception check.
I rolled a 17. That's a natural 20, -3.
All right, you get a good scope of the room. You don't see any dark, shadowy figures in the corner, or people with exclamation points over their head like we're in Metal Gear.
All right,
Um,
thank you. I
you
just
see
needed to make sure.
you presume to be twin gnomes that are just like having a wonderful dinner. You see a rowdy gang of a bunch of races. It's human, elven, there's a drow there, just having a great time like they're celebrating something. And you see a bard that is playing by the fireplace. Seems to be enjoying herself. She has her eyes closed for now because she's very focused.
Hmm. All right. And then she's going to go up to the bar. Can I have a pitcher of whatever it is?
I'll do some stuff.
These whole technical difficulties.
Um, I will sort of. I'll go over to the bard
Hmm.
and just be like,
As you
okay,
walk up to the bard, you see that now, because this is all lit by firelight, so it's kind of hard to see. But as you get closer to her, you realize she has pale blue skin and white wavy hair that appears to ebb and flow like one would expect to see in a passing cloud.
Pear Genasi? Question mark.
She's having a wonderful time playing her lute.
We love Air Genasi bards.
Mm.
I'm just gonna be like, hi, excuse me, that's lovely playing, by the way.
Oh, hi! She opens her eyes and like puts her lute down. I've never seen you around before.
Yes, my friends and I just got into town. I wanted to ask some questions. I feel like a bard is in taverns, hears things. Maybe you might have some information.
Oh, sure. I've always wanted to do this. Okay. Hi, I'm Sky. What questions can I answer for you?
Oh, well, hold on, let me write down your name. I'm just putting Sky the bard.
Nora pulls out a thing. She's like, oh, Sky, all right.
Oh, well, we saw my friends and I, well, we just got in, of course, on the job board and heard about some issues with deliveries and mail and is it bandits? Is it
I don't really know. I don't really pay attention to that sort of thing, though I suppose through people that have come here, I've heard some complaints about letters not being delivered or something. I haven't had any problems, though. I also haven't tried to deliver anything, so.
Gotcha.
I haven't been here very long, but I want to practice answering travelers' questions. I think you'll be hearing more of my name one day.
I'm sure with the plane I just heard, I have no doubts. Um, you don't happen to know who I might be able to, is there like a head of town? I know you said you aren't really from here, but perhaps like a mayor or a something.
I don't really know. However, I think the person that's lived here the longest is the owner of the Trifle Treasures. I don't think it's open now though, but I'd recommend talking to her. She seems to know the details of things.
Okay.
And she starts playing again.
I'll just mosey my way back over to the bar near the boisterous crowd.
As you walk by, you hear her string break. She's just like, gods! Stella, you bitch.
Wait, did she say her name, her guitar's name was Stella?
I think that's what you heard.
Very nice. I like
I'm
that,
going
thank you.
to just toss a silver into her, like, I don't know, does she have like a hat or like a bowl or something for tips?
She has a little wooden bowl
Okay.
that she took out. And she actually looks at it. She looks back at you. And she just kind of like looks back and forth to the money and you. Actually, if you're going to the Trifle Treasure tomorrow, could you possibly get me a new string? I'll pay you for it. It's just I have to like pay for my reservation here, or someone will take my performance spot.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll still let her hold on to the silver, though, of course.
She just kind of like flicks it, catches it in her other hand.
Alright, Ryan, do your thing now.
I was just ordering a thing full of beer.
Nora has just like her own mug, it's just like chug.
Yeah, you can see Leonard is taking care of your orders, and at one point, a female dwarf comes out. You hear Leonard mention Isabella. You assume that's her, probably his wife. And she starts helping with the orders as more people come in, as the night becomes more boisterous. And at one point, you hear Isabella yell, "Roy, we need help over here!" And you see this little, like, barely walking toddler come out of the kitchen holding a plate. And he starts delivering it to people. And that's just how the night's going.
I have a question. Does the toddler deliver my jug of beer?
No, you're sitting at the bar.
Mm.
The little toddler that you heard, his name was Roy, is like delivering little salads to people that are sitting at the tables. He can't
Right.
reach them because he's a toddler dwarf, but he just kind of like toddles over.
I bet toddler dwarfs are so stocky. They're just like little rectangles, with already growing stubble.
I
Um,
wish I had Druidcraft.
can I, I'm gonna take, this like jug of beer, and I'm gonna go sit with Nora, and pull over Zephyr. Be like, all right. So we've fought together, fought each other. Now we need to do the final act of camaraderie in order to call ourselves a company or a gang, if we are to do such a thing. And that is um, see who can hold the most alcohol.
I really don't think that you're prepared for that challenge.
I actually think I am. I have been doing it for years.
Drinking?
Yes, of course. I'm a soldier. Between the
Okay.
jobs of a soldier, the primary one is drinking, second is fighting.
That kind of concerns me more than anything, but
Textile wears that to work.
challenge accepted.
All right,
As you say
Zephyr.
that,
I have
you
no
see,
expectation to win, but I will participate all the same.
as you say that, you see Leonard like look really excited for a second and run over to behind the bar and pull a lever, and just like a rain of like paper confetti starts pouring out from above the countertops, and you see everyone that's sitting there at the tables just turn around and gasp and turn around their chairs.
um,
All right,
Drink, drink,
I may
drink.
have forgotten that we are at a dwarven establishment. Uh, this alcohol might be more intense than normally anticipated.
you saying you can't handle it?
I'm saying you better prepare yourself. Zephyr,
Oh,
make sure that you're prepared to cure poison. All right.
one of the dwarves actually gets up and walks over to you. All right, well, we're gonna have to do this proper contest style. Points to you, Nora. All right, stand up. What's your name?
Nora?
All right, this side of the room for Nora. And they all just stand up and start yelling. And then he like grabs your shoulder and like shoves you back down like a little aggressively, but he's just very excited. Does the same for Io. Like, all right, you know what to
My name
do.
is IOL Dare.
All right, IOL Dad. They're just like yelling, and so half of the room has literally like it's half and half split of whoever was sitting there is now cheering for you.
Right? Let's get started. Winner goes to Zephyr.
Oh, we can't do
And
like a
due
three-way drink
Oh,
competition?
I suppose we could do it 3 ways at a time.
due to this cheering, you each have one optional point of inspiration to use during this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. So are we doing this 3-way with Zephyr, or is the winner going to
I'm
have
just
to
assuming
then
it's
also
Io and
compete with
Nora.
Zephyr?
No, I would assume it's just like all three of us at the same time. That makes the most
Yeah,
sense for a drinking competition.
I think so.
I just want that. I want the toddler to be on my team. Everybody else can root for them.
You want
Come
the
here,
child
stout.
on your team
Come
in
here,
a
stout
drinking
child.
competition?
I
You are
dwarf or
Team
not, I
Zephyr.
don't think we can make that expectation.
Hmm?
All right.
All right, so you both Leonard comes over with just massive mugs of ale, and you can both make Constitution saving throws. I guess saving throw, Constitution check. Check. We'll save the saving throw for later.
We're not drunk enough yet to need a
No.
saving throw.
I rolled okay. That's a 14.
21.
I get a 19.
Ooh. So Nora just immediately like guzzles down the whole thing, and I like takes a minute, and you're not used to the taste of dwarven alcohol, so it like takes you a minute to kind of cough. Have to like get your senses prepared. You hear the crowd go, ooh. All right. And round two. And they bring out like a bigger, like odd colored tankard, but they seem
I also saw Zephyr got a firm
I
19.
got a 19.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I also got. I got 19. So which one of them?
You guys are fine.
All right. Still a regular Constitution check.
Yes.
12.
I got a 23.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Seems that Nora got a little too cocky, and
Yeah,
then this
also-
time you were the one.
I
On
also got a
brand.
12. Look at us.
Nora, you make the mistake of diluting your alcohol with limes. I do the real thing.
What?
How you said lies.
Limes.
You know, I wasn't sure what
Bold
he
of you
said.
to assume I can afford limes.
Nora has scurvy.
Anyway,
I imagine this is the first time Zephyr has drank anything alcoholic that wasn't just like fermented cactus juice. So he's just like every time he drinks something, he's like, "What are all these flavors in my? Whoa, I don't like it, but I like it."
What are all these flavors? They're all bad.
No, I don't
like
know
when
what to think.
it's like when animals try lemons.
Yes.
He's
Or
like,
when
I can't stop, but I want to.
I think Zephyr, cat mouths and all. It probably just like a good half of it is just like pouring down the side.
He's like,
Yeah.
can I get my drinks in bowls now? Just every other one in a bowl.
I mean, you can if you want.
Nah, I
That
think
would be so much worse.
that'd
Oh
be
my god.
horrible. It would
Can you
take you
imagine
so
just
much
like a bowl of
longer.
this and just like,
It would take you so much longer, and it would expose your tongue to so much more. Not a
Mm.
good combination. No, I'll just stick to waterfalling it, I guess.
All right.
All right, they come back around for round 3. This time, a tankard with the darkest, most black liquid you've ever seen in your life. Absolutely.
Can I give it a good sniff? Like, can I take a guess of what the contents of this is?
Yeah, sure.
bile. Monster bile.
That can be. What on earth would that be? Because I want to make you do a Constitution saving throw because it smells so bad.
Mm.
But if
All
you're
I
really
know
trying to
is-
figure it out, then you could do an investigation check.
All I know is Zephyr did not like it either way.
Investigation is a 9. If it was Constitution saving throw, it's an 11.
You have absolutely no idea. It is putrid, and the entire tavern seems very excited to watch you drink it.
I got a 7.
Leonard, I sure hope you
alright.
weren't trying to poison us. This is.
Nora, that is the point of the entire game. Very nice.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay. I got a 19.
22 total.
Oh god. You both pick up the tankards at the exact same time, just like staring, like locking eyes and just like staring context adjacent, just like chug it. Both of you seem like you're gonna finish it at the same time, and so everyone is on the edge of their seats watching and just either cheering Nora or Io or the respective place. Leonard picks up Roy at some point and puts him on his shoulder, and they're all just like looking over. But at the last second, it seems that Nora has come out on top. They just
Alright.
erupt into cheer. You see Roy pulls out a little like, well, not pulls out. Leonard gives him a little like paper tube, and he just kind of like right at you.
That's very cute. Alright, I love that.
One
Nora
of
is,
them comes over and lifts your arm up. We have a new champion.
Nora's just drinking the
Nora.
applause. She's just like living it up.
Mm,
Thank you.
very well done.
Sky is looking from across. She's like, I'm gonna have to write a song about that.
I'm getting a song written about me. Oh my god.
Alrighty. The boisterous tavern begins to simmer down a little bit as it is getting later. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I suppose now that Nora has alcohol in her system and confidence from applause, she's gonna probably go over to the crowd that's like clearly been celebrating. Just be like, I am so sorry to intrude, but what's the occasion?
You look at the drow that is sitting there, and he just kind of turns around. It's just one of my friend's birthdays, but I think this is the best present any of us could ask for. We haven't seen a new drinking competition in a while.
Well, happy birthday. Yes. I was just so curious. I haven't. It's just lovely little bar. It's so
Isn't it?
joyous and
Lena does such a great job with it.
I'm so sorry to ask. We're interested in looking at some of the um delivery mail things that have been going on, and I don't know if any of you have any
Oh yeah, sure.
information.
I think that and he points to his friend that's just like the human man. He's like, yeah, actually, I was one of the ones that put a notice up because I had tried sending a letter to my friend who lives in town just far away on one of the farm sides. And
Mhm.
apparently he hasn't received it and it's been days. So it seems like multiple people are having this problem.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
I don't think it's anything we could worry about necessarily. And he just kind of looks to his friends. They're all like, "Ugh."
Did your letters have anything to do with any specific families? Does your friend work for anybody in particular? Or is it like just a
No, I mean, it was just a letter that was inviting him to this, actually.
mm, I'm so sorry then.
It's all right. We'll get in touch eventually.
Well, my friends and I are hoping to look into it, so hopefully we can
Ah,
remedy this situation for you.
are you with the league?
No, we are independent, actually.
Ah, interesting. Haven't seen a lot of those around.
We like to be unique.
Don't we all?
I guess eventually Nora will just like have drank too much, sang a little too loud, and decide it's probably time she should go to sleep.
Understandable. Anything anyone
I,
else wants to say?
I was really quite disappointed, so she's gonna try to that she lost, so she's gonna kind of just like drink for a while till she goes to sleep. But with an 18 constitution, it takes like with the stuff that they have, she just keeps going and going and going, and eventually goes, all right, and then just goes and then just leaves because it's just not working.
Alrighty. So I guess you all go off to your respective rooms to have a restful night in the Tucked In and Tavern.
Which I love. I love it.
That's a great name.
So cute.
Oh, and all of you have a terrible night.
I mean, imagine just like drinking that much, you're like
I
wake
don't
up.
think any of you have any sort of idea of what you're dreaming about. It's just colors, sounds.
I
There's different stuff in Dwarven Ale.
yeah, you wake up and it's like, I think there might have been psychedelics in that. Like that's not normal.
I've been thinking about this, and it's totally a sidetrack thing, but fun historical fact: in actual like inns in medieval times, you wouldn't actually rent an entire room because that's not economical at all. They would just have really big beds, and you would rent a space in a bed. So actually, it was very likely that if you were in a medieval inn, you would be sleeping with like two or three strangers in your bed with you.
No wonder disease spread like a wildfire. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, because it's more economical to just have like five or six rooms with big beds for like four people than it is to have
Oh
like,
my,
you know, like five or six single rooms for individual people.
Was
oh,
he good?
okay. Yeah, I was like, for a second I misread something and I was like, I have a liar, but I don't. I just have proficiency in playing the liar.
Have you been keeping secrets from us?
I was like, because if I had one, I was like, I'll just lend that to Sky so she can still play, but I don't have one.
Well, she has
But
a
I,
lute.
yeah, but like, it's an instrument with strings.
Not everyone can play every instrument.
Nora doesn't know that.
Oh, you play the clarinet? Here's a flute.
Nora doesn't know that.
For the tuba, here's a piano.
They've both got like keys, kinda.
Not wrong.
Anyway, you are all awoken as you hear the distant bells of the docks ringing as Io and Nora both recognize this as the start of the dockhand workday as the ships begin to depart. And you are in the tavern. It is pretty quiet as it is fairly early, and most people in this town seem to stay up late and have some revelry. So, what do you do?
Um, I imagine we're going to the Trifle Treasures place,
Mhm.
or at least Nora is. She'll like get up and if because we kind of had separate rooms, I'm assuming, instead of we're not close enough to all stay in one room together.
I think
Um,
I
You're all
also wakes up but like stays in bed just kind of thinking for a while, and she really kind of she starts missing the people she used to be with because her old tavern days were like it didn't end without a bar fight and three flipped over tables, and it would end at like 3 a.m. And she's just missing those for a while before she eventually gets her stuff back together and decides to put on her armor.
yeah.
Nora would have been like up, ready to go.
Mm.
She
Oh,
probably
right.
would have slipped notes under their doors and been like, "I'm going to
Wake
this
up.
store. Bye," and leave.
It's occurring to me that this is probably the first time in like several months that Zephyr sleeps in an actual bed. I imagine
Mm.
he's just like full, full splayed out, just taking it in it for as long as he can.
It's not very comfortable, but it sure is warm.
Good enough. Although I imagine he probably doesn't sleep under covers because he doesn't want to get it.
At fur.
He generally fur, and also like first of all it gets super hot, but like also he generally isn't very mindful of how dirty he is. But when he sees the clean sheets, he's like, I'm gonna keep it on the comforter or the top or whatever.
All
Almost
right,
feels
so
bad
you're
about
making
sleeping in
your
the bed
way
at
to
all.
the what?
I said he almost feels bad about getting in the bed at all.
What
And
Zephyr doesn't understand is it's actually much harder to clean the comforter than the sheets, so he
He's
very
just like he's just
accidentally
like
just made a horrible
he
mistake.
sees like the white and he's just like, well, I don't want to get that dirty, so he sleeps on the top instead.
gets fur all over it.
Oh yeah, he's just like this will be good.
The trials of a tabaxi.
I think we're having to face the fact that how little of the world is built well for a tabaxi. Just like
I
the
wonder.
food isn't quite right, the drinks aren't ideally suited towards like
I have a question. It's a very important question. Does Zephyr make biscuits?
Isn't that just when cats like look like they're like kneading the floor?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like he like, because don't they do that to like, for like something to do with their claws or something?
It can do with like a majority of things. Sometimes it's like to scent, sometimes it's just a happy reaction.
I don't know. Probably. Like, if anything, just like very rarely, I imagine it's like a subconscious thing. Like he'll just be chilling and he'll just start just like kind of doing it without even really thinking about it.
What?
So
I mean,
cute.
he's definitely more like he's more man than cat,
Just
but
like
you know,
I
occasionally,
cannot
occasionally just like
keep it on the
stretches his
table.
fingers in a way that looks like that's what he's doing, but he's really just like stretching out his weird paw hands.
Sure he is.
What are they? What do their
I bet
hands look like?
Tabaxi don't even
This is
have
just
like
striking
retractable
me.
claws.
Like, well, they
That's
have
ridiculous.
claws.
Yeah, but I can't imagine they're retractable or else they wouldn't function good as like hands. Can you imagine? They just like come out of here. What? No.
What are you talking about? Would be the same as like don't
I
regular cats have like semi-retractable claws?
Their
They
claws are
are
kind of
they are retractable, but
thinner,
like
yeah.
look at
Do
cat
tabaxi
claws
have
with
hands? This is what I
out
want to know. Do I just have
fur.
weird furry cat hands or do I have paws?
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
I think some actually have paws.
I
How do
felt pause.
how
There's
do I grab
he wouldn't be able
things?
to pick things up if that were true.
I don't
You just
know.
use two. Mix it up like this.
Here's the thing. Google a cat's paws without fur, and
Google
then
it.
you're gonna have to come to terms with the fact.
So like the like primary image for a tabaxi in the player's handbook or in whatever book they're in, they have like just really, really fat hands. Like they kind of it's kind of a paw with like really with but like it's more like a hand with really fat stubby fingers.
Yeah, you're right.
That reminds me of like the lion from Madagascar having like,
Yeah, kinda. But I imagine they're
you
not that
know.
fat because he's not like a lion. He's I
Yeah,
imagine
and
like
I'm seeing
Leonin
like
would probably just be Alex from
Sorry to
Madagascar.
track the conversation so fast, but it really was important to me to
Oh
know.
no, it's very good.
He
talking about
Yeah.
the
might not do
mechanics
that.
of cat people
Might
is
might not
trouble.
do that, but definitely like a lot of cat mannerisms. I'm sure his like ears twitch often. His probably like very little
That's very good.
very little like active control of his tail. His tail probably just moves sometimes. I don't know.
Flicking.
That's very pleasant.
Yeah.
Sorry. Back to the trifle treasures.
Definitely
No, that's fine. This is great.
definitely like stretches like a cat though. Like he gets out of bed, he goes down to touch his toes, and then just back just arches up like to a disgustingly high degree. And he's
Holds.
like, oh yeah, okay, and then he just like,
If
Right.
we ever pick him up, he just long cats.
yeah,
All
exactly. He's like
right. So
6 feet tall, but if you like,
exit.
sorry,
You exit the tavern. You exit the tavern and re-enter the city square that you came in before. What is everyone's passive perception?
Are people with me or am I alone? I thought Nora was alone.
My passive perception is 7.
I thought Io said that she eventually came down.
She did.
Oh, Nora was like, she's leaving like the minute she gets up, which is like immediate. And slips notes under people's door and like just goes.
Then I suppose it would make sense for Nora to see this first.
I have a 16.
That's enough. When you're walking past the fountain, you see a piece of paper that seems to be submerged in the water.
Can I like gently fish it out?
Yeah, you assume that it's been at least fairly recent, given that the paper hasn't dissolved. You pick it up, and it seems to be an envelope with now illegible handwriting, because it's wet, and a stamp.
That's weird. Okay. I guess she'll just try to like. I mean, there's not really a way to hold on to a wet paper.
You try.
Is there anything else? Like, is this stamp of a particular like maker? Like, is it
Make an investigation check.
okay? Because wax doesn't do the same thing in water. 12.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, right? Like a regular postal stamp. This isn't like a wax.
Oh no, wax seal. For some reason, I thought
No.
wax seal. Never
No, no,
mind.
no. When you said that, I was like, wait. No, this is just like a regular like stamp, like adjacent thing that they use to mark when the letters have been paid to be sent. And it seems pretty normal. There aren't any like maker markings on it, but it's just a picture of a fountain.
So it was from here and like was getting sent out, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Weird. Okay. I'll just hold on to it. I don't know.
It's soggy, but it's not falling apart yet.
Okay, I'll just hold on to it. I won't open it yet because that feels it's illegal to tamper with mail.
It's also wet. So I don't know how easy it would be.
I'll make
Is it
my
illegal to
way-
tamper with mail? I have a question. Is it also legal to murder people on the road?
Yes.
Well, we're already criminals.
Anywho, I'm going to the Trifle Treasures.
Ira, would you say that you and Zephyr have emerged by this time?
I probably has, yeah. Her like time of reflection wasn't like I'm gonna sit here for 2 hours. It was like I'm gonna sit here for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Just stare at a wall. Meditate.
Mhm.
All right.
It took you a long time to put your armor on.
It's armor. It's very hard to get on and off.
I know, that's what I was saying. It's going to take a while.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Alrighty, so you all
Zephyr,
make
I
your
imagine
way.
like because Zephyr and Io being a person that takes time to get ready, and Zephyr being someone that sleeps a little more in the comfy bed. I imagine they come out at the same time. And I would say Io, you
Mm.
immediately notice Zephyr looks more dirty than he did when he went to bed. Like there's like more dust on him than there was last night.
Is that what? Did you get into something last night?
Hmm? What do you mean?
You're covered in dirt.
Oh no, I do that every morning.
You take a dirt bath?
Mm-hmm. I show him my sack of dirt. I'm like, see? I just I'd
He
like
opens the
grab a
bag.
handful and I just start rubbing it on myself.
It appears to just be endless dirt.
It protects you from parasites, I presume.
Yeah. And also like arrows and knives and
Excuse me?
yeah. Anyway, I take my shirt and I like put my shirt back on.
This reminds me of in Pirates of the Caribbean when he's like, "It's a jar of dirt. It's just a jar of dirt," but it's like
Wait,
Like
the
like
I
most
also
important
puts
jar
his
of
shirt
dirt
back
that's
on,
ever
like
existed.
kind of does this just to kind of like loosen it up, get it comfortable. It kind of like puffs off a little bit.
wait, so you'd
Gotta get it moving a little bit.
so you do the jar of so you have the jar of dirt that protects you from arrows.
It's a bag of
Bag,
Arrows.
bag of dirt.
a jar would be very cumbersome
Right.
because like then I wouldn't be able to my break. That'd be bad.
And that's exactly what happened in the movie. Spoilers.
How dare you? I haven't finished that movie yet, and I can't believe you've
There is
done
no
this.
way that
Dare
you have
you.
not
The
finished that
movie came
movie
out
in
in like
our 5-year
2007. That's
relationship.
too soon.
Yeah, but Lizzie and I agreed to watch the whole series together, and guess who bailed?
What are you talking about? You're a liar.
So great.
I am actually lying. I was hoping I could just say it and then you would believe me, and then never mind.
Anyway,
Anywho, D&D.
Back to the
Mhm.
dirt conversation.
Back to the dirt bath. Also, I like that he walked out covered in dirt and then didn't have a shirt on, and then went, "Oh yeah," and then puts a shirt.
well, you know, you gotta like let the dirt air out a little bit.
Oh
Gotta
my
gotta
God.
aerate it.
Yeah, it's a whole process. He
Mm.
was like basically done, but he's also like covered in fur, so he's generally not that worried about clothes. In the desert, we actually don't really. Well, we wear clothes. It depends. It depends on the day, you know. Sometimes you just don't. You know, we got the fur. It's fine.
Alright, sounds good to me.
We usually wear pants. I will say that. Don't usually go without those, despite the fur. But the shirts, eh.
I suppose you already have the fur which protects you from sun damage.
Look, it's a little hot too, you know. Like the fur already kind of is like designed to retain heat to some extent, and then put the shirt on over that, and it's like, it's so real toasty. That's why the shirt is so thin. It's literally
Well,
just
let's
like
go
a
find our
rag
friend
that's, like,
before she
falling
gets into
apart.
some trouble.
All right, so you all make your way to the city square, and you see Nora trying to handle a wet piece of paper, trying to figure out how to fit it in a bag, maybe. And you all walk towards the particular storefront with the sign that reads "Trifle of Treasures." You open up the door, and a little bell rings. And you see behind the counter stands a very tall but smiling dragonborn figure with golden scales. And she says,
Mm.
"Welcome, travelers! How can I assist you?"
Hello. Well, I was recommended this store. Oh my gosh, I feel like this echo is so bad. I was recommended this store by Sky. She was performing
Oh,
at the
sweet
Texan.
house, that's one.
Yes. So first of all, I'm here to get a string for her. Hers broke. She asked me to pick one up from here, like a guitar, a lute string. Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
But we also heard that you have lived here in Wakefield the longest, and
I believe I have.
that you might be able to give us some information on perhaps the delivery issue, the mail issue, if this is a super recent thing, if this has happened before, if...
Mine can wait, but I also have questions about products and what you sell here.
Yes, I will get to that.
Yes, I have lived here longest. It's kind of hard to say because if it's not obvious enough, I would not burn here. I'm from the side. But people come and go all of the time. I've stayed here the longest. So, now that that is out of the way, I have heard of the delivery issues, and I've had some problems myself, but it's fairly recent, actually. Some of my stock, like papers and ink, haven't been getting delivered normally. Don't know where that last package went, but I think I might be able to get that stream for you. Hold on.
Do I
And she
recognize that accent?
make a history check.
She said she's from Asai.
She did? Okay.
Yeah, she said she's not from here, but she's lived here the longest.
Okay. History, that's 22.
Yeah, you do recognize that being an accent on the side.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. And looking around this shop, what are we dealing with here?
Yeah, so the shop holds like a lot of simple wares, but it's beautifully decorated. As you look closer, you notice the decorations aren't like valuable by any means, but you can tell that she kind of arranges them in a way that she takes pride in how her shop looks. But the shelves are relatively barren. You do see like a couple of like health potions. You see a couple of like my entire train of thought is just gone. You see a bunch of like stacks of normal items that you'd like assume to be in a store like this, like rope and like small scissors and shears and this normal things. But the
Can
shelves
I
are
buy can I buy some lantern fluid?
you can look around and there is a little bit of lantern fluid like on the top of one of the shelves. She kind of looks over. She's like, "Ah, yes, I can get that about you." Really? And she just kind of sets it on the counter, like waiting to see if anyone else is getting anything.
I'm so sorry for not making introductions first. I didn't catch your name.
Oh yes, I am Brett.
How do you spell that, DM?
Ambrette.
Ambrette.
Mm-hmm.
Ombrette. Okay.
Brett.
Well, that's a beautiful name.
See. I'm looking for this string, and I'm guessing that the delivery of wires was also in one of the packages that hasn't come, so I'm very sorry. But I have to wait another day.
That's perfectly fine. I'm sure Sky can work something out.
Of course. Now for the lantern fluid, I like you. I think I will give you a small discount. So how about 5 silver?
5 silver will do. Although I also want to ask, do you have anything akin to tar or oil? More sticky, but flammable is great. And similarly, it doesn't need to be strong or dangerous per se. But I'm also looking for acid you might use for blacksmithing or other similar purposes.
I can definitely hook you up with the tar you're looking for, but I don't believe I have any acid. If you're looking for things for weapons, I would recommend Belden. I don't exactly deal with this here, but we go get the tar, and she kind of like goes back and it's rummaging. You can see like her scales are super shiny and just like she has little like horns that are adorned with like plenty of little like pops and gadgets and stuff.
Very cute. All right. She's just gonna get these things. How much would these cost? Between that and the tar?
So the lantern fuel is 5 silver. I say the tar is probably 15 silver.
Okay. So between the two of them, it's like 2 gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I am going to give 2 gold. And then I'm going to go over to Zephyr and be like, all right, with this, we can slow people down. With this, we can burn them alive. I find that using fire whenever possible is always valuable because people hate being caught on fire. They hate the idea of it almost as much as the real thing.
Brett,
Yes.
that fountain in the center of town, who is the woman that the sculpture is supposed to be?
Oh, it's Melora.
Oh, right. I should have known that. I'm so sorry.
Of course.
I didn't even ask the DM. I should have asked the DM. Is
Not
there
that I wrote a whole page of lore on it or anything. It's fine.
is there anything magical about the fountain?
Not to my knowledge, no. Why?
I found an envelope there this morning that was stamped as if to be sent out of Wakefield, but was in the fountain instead. And
Is
it
that?
seems odd.
Do you think that's one of the missing ones?
Maybe, I don't know. It's so wet that I can't really get too much out of it, except that it was stamped here in Wakefield, so I was going to go investigate at the post office, but
I'm not sure. I've seen people throw coins in it and stuff, but haven't heard of magic. It's merely a tribute to our continent's namesake.
very interesting. I don't think I need anything from this store at the moment, but besides, I'll check back again about the string. And hopefully we can solve this delivery problem because this poor town is suffering.
Yeah, and in fact, I think if you could figure that out, I could have a discount in your future, perhaps a permanent one.
I would never say no to a discount.
Of course. We'll see that that job gets fixed.
I am interested in a couple more things, but perhaps I will save that till after we get to a discount.
Of course, it's understandable. Maybe I will have more stock by then.
All right, well, Zephyr, do you need anything from the store?
Nope.
I like your accent very much, by the way. Anyway, time to go.
Wait, hang on. I open my bag. I pull out a single piece of chalk. Nope, we're still good. Put it back.
Wait, I actually have one more question. I just need to ask other people about this so I don't sound crazy. Have you ever heard of dust that makes you more resistant to being stabbed?
Like magic dust?
Hold on.
I presume so.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was magical dust that kept you from getting stabbed.
Sorry, I wanted to roll for it. I believe I've heard stories of the deserts. Weird things happening over there, but never seen it in person. Why do you ask?
No reason. I'm just. Maybe I was seeing something crazy. Don't worry about it.
We all see things, a lot of things, especially on this continent. Have a
This
good
one I
day.
get to see a lot of weird things. But regardless, who was I just dropped my pen. Who was the person you said we could go to for weapon information on weapons?
She recommended going to Verdun.
Oh, go into Verdun. Oh well, we're on our way there, so.
Rena,
In
question.
the innovation world, there are a lot of tinkers there.
In particular, a Corona question. Shoot, wait. I think I lost it because I'm a little idiot child. Um,
Wow.
Sorry, never mind. I'm being an idiot. I'll tell you if I remember. Oh, right. Do we remember the name of the person that we killed?
Do you remember the name?
We never asked the name of the person we killed. We just killed him.
Okay. Never mind.
We just knew that he was working for somebody who didn't like the Martin Wilds.
Have there been attacks by bandits on the roads around here?
Oh, I don't know, and I don't think I would know. I don't typically go outside the walls. They are there for a reason.
Sounds
Is
good to me.
there like a League of Lister outpost in town for specifically League members?
I don't think there is an outpost necessarily, but they do come by to drop off things at the notice board so that they know which tasks are getting picked up. So you'll see a few of them around here. Easy to spot. They usually have their little insignias with them.
Maybe we can ask them for some information as well.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, you certainly will not be seeing the last of us. We're quite the annoying lot. We keep popping up. I'm always the rest of
Good
them.
day and good travels, and figure out this postal nonsense, as it were.
Of course.
All right.
I was out of there. I was also going to do something else really quick that means nothing, but I want to be sure. I was going to leave, walk over to the fountain, toss in a gold, walk back in, say hello, and then walk back to see if the gold is still there.
What?
Thanks for that response. I'm not going to worry about it.
You were gonna drop
No,
a
no,
gold
no,
coin in, walk away, essentially, then walk back to see if it's gone.
I thought you meant like say
Yes.
hi to the statue and then look back down. I'm like,
No,
what?
she's saying hi back to the shop owner.
Yes, yes. You walk back and the gold is still there.
Cool. Just checking.
Something
I'm
tells me
gonna take
that
back
you
my gold, by the way.
hop into the fountain, not out of the fountain.
You never know with these kinds of places. You want to understand if there is any sort of magical phenomenon going on, uh, or if there is a water weird in your soup, if you know what I'm saying.
A what in my soup?
A water weird. I'm sorry, it's my accent.
Okay, I'm going to go look around for some pompous League of Listeria people. I'm just assuming they're pompous because they're part of the league. I don't.
Have you
Um,
ever met anyone in the league?
have I ever met anyone in the league?
Make a history check.
I think that's an 18. Yes.
You haven't met anyone directly, but you've certainly crossed paths with them before.
Were they pompous?
I mean, it depends on the person.
Across the board, Nora just thinks they're all pompous. End of story.
I mean, you can certainly have your stereotypes that you believe, but
I've crossed paths with a few, yes, and they were all had something
In
stuck up their
curiosity, did they
butt.
survive
Did they survive?
crossing paths with you?
Well, I didn't outright murder them. Jesus Christ. That's a bit extreme.
That didn't exactly answer my
They didn't
question.
leave without probably a black eye, but they didn't die.
I don't think you
Did they
got a
leave with their
conversation with
pockets?
any league members. You
Oh,
just
okay.
asked them like in the city before.
Aya doesn't need to know that.
Okay, just making sure that you know that.
Yes. Aya doesn't need to know. I will wander around town, just collect information on this delivery stuff, look for League of the Seer people before I know what we're gonna have to like go to the post office at some point, because obviously that's like headquarters for the delivery problems.
Oh,
Yes.
I also just wanted to say, since like she's out and about, but they're not actively or anticipating any combat, um, Io has like a Greek hoplite kind of helmet going on, but she wears it sitting on the back of her head, like
Sick.
portrayals of like Athena and stuff.
I feel like Nora looks like not obviously like not a normal person, but probably the closest to normal out of everyone in this group.
Mm.
I mean,
And that's wild to me.
I'm just wearing like thin clothes, a backpack, and am a cat.
And have dirt all over
Yeah,
you.
It's not like
Dirty cat.
dirt, you
Dirty
know,
cat.
like he's like it's like dust, you know. You
Alright.
can't quite tell. You
Sorry.
like this entire time you thought you knew what color Zephyr's fur was, and now you're starting to realize it might be a few shades lighter. And you just don't. It's hard to tell what his actual fur color
Zephyr,
is.
I have a question.
Yep.
Do you take baths or do you just accumulate earth?
I don't really like swimming very much. I don't like water.
Bathing isn't swimming, but I guess
it gets all like in the, you know, it's just like it's hard to dry off when you're all like, you know, I'm basically like a big rag whenever I get wet. Like it's just in there and I can't like wring myself out. So it's just kind of like
I literally had a mental image
it's
of
just
like Io just picking Zephyr up by the middle and going.
it like soaks it like if I get like a little water on me, it's fine because I can kind of brush it off. But like once it like soaks into the inner layers, it's really hard to get it out.
It is, for many animals, it is actually quite normal to not take baths like that and instead to take dirt baths or mud baths in some cases.
Is this Io talking or Ryan?
Io and I both have a plus something in nature.
We also don't really we don't really like back home. We have mud, but not like it's just not really like a problem most of the like mostly we deal with like packed dusty dirt, maybe some clay, but like there's not a lot of like this same like very brown like dirty dirt, you know? Our dirt's not as dirty as your dirt. It's not that big of a, it's not as big of like a deal.
My dirt's cleaner than your dirt.
Well, like, cause your dirt's got like dead stuff in it. Our dirt's just like dust, so it's not quite as like a big deal.
Fair enough.
Just saying, like,
I
if I fell in
suppose.
mud, then yeah, I would take a bath because it's gross. But like, if I just get, you know, some dust, it's different.
Fair enough.
Also, Io, were you asking about my dust?
I was asking about your dust.
Can you maybe not talk about it too much in public? I probably shouldn't have told you.
No,
Is it
it is
secret
okay.
dust?
I'll keep it a secret.
Okay.
That's why I tried to not mention it belonging to anyone in particular.
Well, because like, it's kind of special dust. I'm not really supposed to tell
Oh,
anyone about it, but like, it's just really cool, so I have a hard time not telling people about it. Because it's like, you know,
no, I understand.
it's like,
Is this
It isn't.
like, does this dust only work on you, or would it work on other people?
it works on other people. I don't know if it would work on like you, but like it works on other furry people. I don't know. I don't know if you need fur or not. You know, we don't really
Gotcha. Mhm.
we don't really give it to other people. It's kind of like it's kind of a I'm telling you too many things about it already. You know,
It is alright.
it's like
Tell
a
tell you what,
it's
I
like a
will.
cultural thing. It's more of like a it's not really like a magic protection. It's more of like a sentimental thing that's also magical.
Uh, I understand. In fact, in exchange, I'm sorry for you having to share so much, but I was going to open up her scroll containing her map, which is empty until she says "Dehi Todoromo," and then the map fills up um, with the surrounding area. She see anything interesting?
I'd say make a perception check while I go to D&D Beyond real quick.
Okay.
I always forget what this map does. I'm so sorry.
So it just gives a it just draws up the map around and gives helpful hints if in anything like tactical or involved in the land or anything like that. But
Um,
I rolled. Sorry, I'm bad at math. That's a 60?
yeah, I mean, it paints a clear picture of, I almost said the wrong city name, of Wakefield. And you can see like the plentiful docks on the other side that you have not visited yet. But they're pretty clear on there. You see the town square, and then everything beyond that is just like little houses, or it further like descends into farmland and stuff beyond the walls, but nothing you would think of as a out of the ordinary.
Sounds great.
At some point walking around, Nora wants to slip away from, Io and Zephyr
Mhm.
and make her way down to the docks.
All right, you do. You see, it's fairly bustling at this point. I mean, you were woken up by the initial bell anyway, so the workday has definitely begun. You see plenty of passing ships. You recognize some of the League insignias that Umplet told you about, but you also just remembered them in general. Of people coming off, there are regular like passenger ships coming, cargo, just a normal day. Normal day by the seaside.
Is there like a check-in station?
Is there what?
Like a check-in station?
It's less of a check-in station and more of like a guy standing up to the top
That's
with like a scroll and like a quill.
Yeah, I just want to make my way over to that
Quartermaster.
guy.
For some reason, when you said like check-in thing, my mind went to those. But when you go to restaurants, what's it called? The little like
Oh, hostess
Mhm.
station?
Yeah, I was imagining that, but like on a dock. Like, welcome.
Yes, how
Welcome to
many
your boat.
today? Oh, three? Yes, we have a ship right over here for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna make my way over to that guy.
All right. What's your business here today?
Hi, I was just curious, I don't know if you can give me this information. If you've had any ships come in, perhaps using the name the ship would be Bottom Feeder?
Let me check this. Um, he kind of looks at it. Uh, yeah, actually. I can't tell when this was from, but the name was written down a couple months ago.
Interesting. Um, that probably was that when I was here?
You would assume because you did not wake up on the beach months ago.
Months ago? Yeah. Okay. Um, thank you.
Sure.
I don't think there was ever any like ship pseudonyms we would have used. We would have just kept our ship name. It's written on the side of the ship. Um, all right. Uh, is the league are the league people on their ship right now? Or are they like can
You
I see
see,
them?
there are plenty of like people that work with the league that like have the gear of like the league members, but you see three individuals that you would assume to be the actual like adventurers that are getting off their ship now and just kind of like moving their bags and just kind of like saying hi. They seem to be not locals, but they definitely stop here.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like mark their faces and remember them for later because I'm not gonna talk to them without everybody else just because
Make a perception check.
perception. Ooh, that's pretty good. 21.
21. As you are leaving the docks, you see kind of propped up against one of the what's it called? I want to call them dock logs. The like post of the
Yeah.
dock. You see a cardboard box leaning against it.
I'm gonna walk over to it kind of nonchalantly, like,
Mhm. Whistles loudly.
it's a dock. People whistle on the docks. Come
I know
on.
yeah, it's just a little package.
Is there an address on it? Or
You can turn it around, but you can't see anything on it. You see again, it once had something written on it, but it seems to either have been scratched out or like the rush of seawater, or who knows what kind of manhandling this thing has gone through. But you do see a similar stamp as the one that was in the fountain, except this one is the ship.
is it ship?
Like the stamp, like the picture.
Interesting. It's suspicious that the things that would be in the mail are by the water on 2 instances. I'm just gonna pick it up, put it on my shoulder, walk back to
No
the
one,
aisle.
no one looks twice, as there's a lot of like in and out of cargo through the docks. It looks completely normal.
If you just look like you know what you're doing,
Yeah,
you're good.
it looks that way.
Alright.
All right,
Make
what
my
do you
way
want to do?
back to the group.
All
I now
right,
have
you
a box.
reconvene. I assume that all of you are still kind of uh, around the fountain.
Yeah, actually, really quick, we don't need to roleplay it if you don't want, but I'm going to sell. I picked up 3 crossbows. I'm just going to sell
Mhm.
those real quick.
Right. Sure thing.
How much?
You do
How
that.
much would those be?
Oh God, hold on. Let me look this up.
Do, 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 do.
Talk amongst yourselves. All right. I'm so sniffly.
Laura, where did you go?
I was just going down to the dock to see if my ship had stopped in, but it hasn't, so.
All right. You know, it might be a good idea to keep us around for these kinds of things. You never know when you're going to get jumped.
I don't think I'm getting jumped in Wakefield.
What if your
But,
ship was here? And all
if
those
my ship
people
was
that
here,
don't
then I
like you
would.
were on it.
If my ship was here, I guarantee you that I would not really have that much to worry about.
Yeah, I don't understand how you expect that your mutineers will accept you with open arms.
You have to understand. Sorry, seawater.
Hope
Oh
not.
Were
my
you
God.
drinking it?
No, I'm breathing it, bitch. Anywho, you have to understand. People like
Eating it would be worse.
my crew are swayed mostly just by who they like most in the moment. All I have to do is convince them that they need to like me more, and if they've spent this much time without me, then they're going to understand that they miss me as their captain and they miss me on the crew, so...
That is a loyal crew you have there.
They're not really that loyal, but that's fine.
That was my point, actually.
You know,
Well,
I don't know a lot about human interactions, but that doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't follow with me either.
well, it's not your problem to worry about, so it doesn't matter. Anywho, I found a package down by the docks that also appears to have been from the post. This one had a ship stamped on it, though, so I imagine it was trying to be sent out from the docks.
Sorry, Corinne, did you say something about the crossbows?
I was waiting. I think you'd get about, you said 3 crossbows? I think you'd get about 60 gold for all of them.
Any chance you'll want to split that 3 ways?
I mean, yeah, I'll split 3 ways.
Thank
I
you.
Splitting it with Zephyr is a no-brainer. Splitting it with Nora,
Did
in
Nora
fact,
not
actually,
help you get the
no, I
crossbows?
don't, because Nora is out at the docks.
So you're just not gonna have Nora get some of the money that she helped you get from the crossbows? Because she helped you get the crossbows?
Nora left. I'll chip in with stuff, but at the time, I'm just giving the money to Zephyr.
Nah, it's okay. I know you got me.
I'm gonna give it to Zephyr anyway, because Io also knows keeping it in one basket is unwise, especially when your perception is 7.
But how much do you already have?
12.
Well, now wait. How much did we get from all of? How much are you gonna give me?
30.
But now I'm gonna have 60.
You're splitting
Yeah.
it in half?
Yeah.
Here, hang on. So if you give me 30,
It was 60 gold. I'm giving you 30, and I'm taking
how
30.
much do you have now?
12.
You do not have
the
12.
fact?
You have more than 12
So
if
now
you've
you have
added
40.
30.
So now you have
I have
40.
not yet added the 30, so now I
you
have 42.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I'm gonna give you 10 back, and then you can have 52, and I'll have 53.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Very nice. And now that Io's carrying a significant amount of gold, Io is going to just like put it between her body and her chest plate, even if it's uncomfortable, just because she's like, nobody is taking this now.
I just leave it in a
Respect.
bag loosely hanging on like a rope that I have tied around my waist.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, so you've all reconvened at this point. Front of the beautiful fountain, the statue of Melora, with the water coming out of her hands.
You said Melora?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a goddess?
Yes.
Do
The
we
goddess
recognize that goddess?
the continent is named after.
I said this earlier.
I'm sorry,
I
I
really had
I
this
didn't
whole
hear that.
conversation with her in the
No,
store.
uh, you had heard earlier that the statue is of Melora, the continent's namesake.
I don't know why, but I thought you were saying something else the entire time. I thought you were saying like Stellora or something like that.
Melora.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Very nice, thank you.
We should probably get to the post office and start asking questions there, and maybe deliver the fact these 2 things of mail that I have stumbled across both times.
That sounds great to me. We should also, if we can, I know this might be a little bit bad, but we should try to find somebody that is willing to pay us for solving this problem
Well, I'm hoping
before
that the
we solve
mail
it.
office will want to pay us for solving their mail problem.
That sounds good to me.
What if? Okay, but hang on. If the mail's already in town and just not getting delivered, what if the people at the post office are possessed?
Well, then we should probably go to the post
I
office and check to see if they're possessed. Right?
I think that's a good call.
Okay. Sick. If they're possessed, we'll figure it out from there.
Okay,
just-
in a sort of roundabout way, you all finally decide to go to the post office. You see, it's kind of like tucked. This is funny. Tucked next to the tucked in. It's kind of like on an awkward corner.
tucked
It's
in.
very, it's a very small and like patchworky kind of building. Like it was thrown together, but it was thrown together with love. And you presumably walk in.
I want to walk straight up to the first person I see and just squint at them really hard.
The first person you see is a very, very, very stressed looking halfling man with a bushy mustache, like pacing behind the
I
counter.
walk right up to him and just
He's just
like
like,
get real close and just stare right at him. And I want to use my ability to know whether or not there is an undead right in front of me.
go ahead.
Is that no? I just know. Is he undead?
No.
He's not
Did
possessed,
the
guys.
cat
We're
eyes
all.
dilate from
I
like
just like
the
get real
wide to the
close,
super thin hunter eyes?
and then I just go. It's okay, guys. It's not possessed.
Thanks, Zephyr.
Hey, good job,
Hello.
Zephyr.
I'm just gonna
Hello, good
plop the
man.
box down and like wet slap the envelope on the box.
I'm afraid you are looking quite stressed, and we have good news. We are here to make that stress headache of yours go away.
They posted something on the board, didn't they?
Actually, we are just very helpful.
Yes. Seems to have been circling around that we have mail problems. What is this wet thing you've thrown onto my counter?
Oh,
Your
this
mail.
right here is an envelope that was stamped to leave Wakefield, but I found it in the fountain. And this lovely big old box right here was down by the docks. Clearly also meant to be sent out, but was not.
Now, if it isn't obvious enough, I don't deliver the mail myself. I own the place. Antonio Pernecki, nice to meet you.
Hold on.
And you notice that the shop Antonio Pernecki.
Pernecki. I
The
don't
sign
know.
above the reads Pernecki Post.
I don't know how to feel about any part of that.
Antonio, where are you from?
Where am I from?
But I love it.
I'm from across the continent on a well, not across the continent, across the sea, Kalaran.
Lauren.
Hey, I am from across the sea too. I'm from
No,
the
you're-
hidden oasis.
You're from around the sea. You're from the other side.
I crossed a body of water. That is what I know.
You went
You-
in a circle. Anywho. So
And now you find yourself tucked in next to the tucked in an alleyway, but not an alleyway, actually in the steer.
we would like to solve your mail problem. I understand the stress that it is causing you, and the people of the town are also seem to be stressed. And we are independent, muscle for hire.
Problem solvers.
That works too.
You said you're independent, so you're not with the league.
Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not very muscly.
Make
In
a
other words, we can get things done more quietly.
Make a
just a straight one, no advantage or anything.
You can get advantage because of the thing I said at the end.
18.
He kind of looks at you. He's still pretty stiff. All right, you can help. I've been wanting to enlist help because I'm trying to keep things looking good around here, reputation and whatnot for a small post office. I want people to trust us, but it's kind of not going well. Look, we used to have a couple of people that would come and run the mail for us every now and then. But as you've probably seen, people don't seem to stay here very long. So my last employees went up and who knows where, probably to Verdun, where everyone goes. And we hadn't had a deliverer for a while, and so I was actually doing it myself until recently when I sent out a post looking for a new employee, which hadn't been, no one had come, yet the thing had been taken down, and I still haven't met with anyone, and yet now our packages are all willy-nilly.
I have a question. How much are you paying your employees?
Oh, well, we don't make much right now, so I'd say per day, I think right now I can go by 8 silver a day.
Is that a reasonable wage for that kind of job?
I'd say it's pretty reasonable because like they're staying relatively local, but it's still kind of like a wide city in the fact that there are like farms on the outside and there are like houses by those farms and stuff. It's definitely not. It's less than like the normal rate of a job would probably be, but it's also not hard manual labor.
Okay, I'm basically checking like, is he just like messing up his employees and like not giving them what they deserve, so they're leaving and or seeking retribution?
You can make an insight check.
So, if I am to understand your statement correctly, you put up a
Oh,
job hiring post for the sake of hiring someone for the position. Someone clearly was interested in the position, however, no one has come to actually talk to you about it, and people have been
or
transporting the
somebody has a
packages
grudge.
anyways? Or you have been attempting to transport packages and it's gone willy-nilly because you are attempting to do too many things?
No, because I've been I was doing packages before I put out the sign that I needed a new employee because I realized I could not do it myself.
Yeah.
Ryan, what did you say? I missed it.
I rolled a 12, but I was also saying this sounds like sabotage because you posted something looking for a new employee, and then and then it was taken down, and then nobody had the opportunity to take it. And then also you find out that there are packages that you are supposed to be delivering are never making it. And not only are they not making it, but they are being tarnished in the fountain or wherever else we may find them, probably out at sea.
You get the vibe from him that he is very stressed. He seems very upfront. He's not trying to like pull one over on you. He doesn't seem to have any nefarious purpose. um, I don't know who would want to attack the post. I mean, I'm just trying to help people send letters. We figured
No
after
rival businesses.
war, but other businesses? Oh, I don't know. We don't have a rival post office.
It doesn't usually happen. Um, you don't happen to have any connections to anybody who might have enemies? That might be a stretch, but
If that one family's really powerful, they probably send a lot of mail, and maybe people are just trying to stop that and
Are
disrupt
you at
their.
all connected to the Marden Wilds?
No, I wish. No, I sure know of them, but I haven't even seen their mail go by. I mean, we're sticking kind of local for now. This small startup, as it were, considering I'm the only employee right now. No, no Marnwell business here. Not yet.
No exes or Gorn's lovers or anything like that?
No, my life's as boring as ever.
are you
I'm
sure,
trying to think
Antonio? You look like you might be a heartbreaker.
that he just kind of laughs. He's just like his brows furrow even more because he's just on the breaking point.
I felt that one, mailman. I felt that one.
Apologies, that was meant to be a funny haha.
It's okay. So normally when I get the packages, you can see here he kind of like opens one of there's like a sliding door to where like the back of the counter is. And there's a big like open wall that's like it's made into cubbies. So like the wall is open, but there are wood pieces sticking out that are made to be cubbies so that like people can put stuff in there, like to be mailed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So normally, we come here, people come with their packages. I give them a little stamp once they decide where it's going so we can figure out the payment. for the delivery. And I put them right here to be delivered the next morning. Someone has been taking them. I know that I need another system, but I can't really do anything about that right now. And it hadn't been a problem in the past. So
Do you leave the office at the end of the day and like lock up and everything?
I lock up, but I live upstairs.
And you've never heard anyone seen any signs of a break-in?
I haven't heard anyone break in, and normally, the doors are locked. So if it had been tampered with at all, I'd see it bright and early.
Hmm. I don't have a means of detecting any magic, but I don't
Are there
see
any
why someone would
specific
magically steal
cubbies
mail.
that get targeted?
Uh, you can see, look for yourself, I guess. You can look over at the cubbies and make an investigation check.
Okay. I'm not very smart, but I will try. I just mean, like, are there any, like, is there like a specific one where you put mail in and that one just is always empty the next day?
No, it just seems to be whichever one has a box in it. Although I suppose this one hasn't been touched yet, and he points to one that's like on the top, like shelf cubby. As you look around,
I got a 13.
it seems that what'd you get?
I got a 13.
Yeah, that's fine. With a 13, you can like look at the cubbies, and it seems that some of them have like scratches on them, but the only ones that seem to have like any sort of like scuffle are like the bottom three, like the lower ones. Because it's like a full wall of cubby space, but it's only like probably your like waist down. The ones that seem tampered with.
I'm gonna, like, for the sake of roleplay
Look for
purposes,
false panels and stuff like that.
I'm rolling an insight to see. I got a nat 1. I'm not gonna share the thoughts that I have.
It seems to me, I
This
have a couple
means
of running
nothing, but
theories. We've got little creatures coming in stealing packages and mail. We have the potential that somebody took that job post thing down, assumes they have the position, and has been attempting to deliver mail with no idea where it's actually going.
I wouldn't imagine somebody would do that without like asking for payment first.
Maybe,
Is
but
this the goblin conspiracy? Are goblins stealing mail and delivering it poorly?
that's it.
Little male goblins.
We cracked it,
I,
boys.
I
Wow.
I actually already have a couple ideas that we could use. I have some tar. We could dilute it with grease to make it a little bit more um, manageable. We can put in some packages into these cubbies. Put the tar and things on bottom sides. We can mix it with charcoal so that when somebody goes to steal it, they have this very hard to remove grease, tar, charcoal mixture on themselves, their hands and clothes, and probably on the rest of themselves, to be honest with you. It'd only be better if we had glitter. And then we could be able to track down who it is. Or alternatively, we wait here overnight.
That
Or
was going
both.
to be my idea, was stake the place out and see what happens, because it seems that they're disappearing in the night.
So
I
where
agree.
exactly did you find these then? He points to the letter in the package.
The letter itself was in the fountain, and the package was down by the docks. They both seem to be affiliated with water.
How far
Do
away
you
is the fountain
is
from
there a
here?
sewer system here in this town?
How far away is the fountain?
Yeah.
It's like a block away.
Okay.
Like
Zephyr
you're just outside of the
Zephyr
city square.
just leaves
You do?
and goes to the fountain. But
Are you trying to accomplish
I,
I assume that'll take a minute.
Yeah,
I
sure.
was gonna go with him.
Oh.
I
Nora's
think
just like,
what we may have here is a situation where there is someone who clearly doesn't understand how jobs work, who is taking the mail, sees the stamp and the image on the stamp, and follows and drops the mail where they find the image on the stamp. Therefore, they dropped the envelope at the fountain, the box at the docks with the ships.
well, in that case, I suppose we could also just track the package,
Oh wait.
put a certain stamp on it, see where it goes.
Was I not
That's
paying
true.
attention? Do the stamps have the pictures of where the stuff was?
Yeah, so the
Okay,
box has a
never
picture, it
mind
has like a
then.
stamp of a
I
chip.
don't leave. That answers my whole question.
Okay.
I'm just dumb.
And the envelope has the fountain.
I had the thought of like, what if there's like a drain in the fountain that goes out to the water? But the stamps answered the question of that.
All right. Well, I suppose
I'm
if you
coming
want.
up with the craziest conspiracies in my brain that are too stupid for Io to share.
I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I think our
Alright,
best bet right now, so that we also don't make a mess of this post office, stake out for the night.
I
Keep
really
it.
like the idea of the tar trap.
We can maybe keep
Well,
that back up.
Well, we have to do it ahead of time. It's not a backup kind of thing.
Why don't you just like put it all over the floor so that if we're in here waiting to catch people, then they just step on it and they're stuck.
That is, it's just much harder to remove. But if we put it on the packages, they will have to pick it up, and it'll be on their hands and things.
What if we lay out a sheet on the floor and then put the tar on the sheet?
Maybe we can just do both.
So then when they step on it, they get all rolled up in the sheet and can't get out.
Because then it will be too obvious that there is something going on, and they will not go in.
You just lay it real flat.
All right, hear me out. This is my conspiracy. All right, so we know that there's somebody from Psi here, which are tinkerers and like to do science stuff. One of the best spells in that vein in the artificer list is animate objects. What if we have a bunch of well-meaning objects that have been animated, but they don't really understand how to deliver things, so they just go to the location of the stamp, and hence the problem.
I don't think where the scratch is coming from then.
Huh? From the animated objects.
I like
How
the
are they
idea.
scratching? Is it like claw marks?
I like
Like
the
little-
idea that a goblin
Because
that
like
went to the board, saw the job, and was like, "I'll bet I have a job now," and then is just doing it poorly.
investigation,
Mhm.
19.
Also,
They
just
definitely look like claw marks.
Yeah, they're claw marks. They're not
But
like
it doesn't look like, because you rolled high, it doesn't look like attacking claw marks.
yeah,
It just
no,
looks
just like adjacent.
Yes.
Yeah. I say
by the way, she's still gonna whisper that to Zephyr, semi-joking, but both her and I have this idea of like, whenever you have an idea that's really crazy, it's more useful to share it on the 1% chance you're right, because you'll seem like a maniac if you are.
yeah.
I hope you know that the second you tell Zephyr about the fact that there are people that can make objects come alive and deliver mail, he just blank stares for a period of time. Just
why don't we do both? Minus the sheet. I
I
like
think
the
that is a
energy.
good idea.
I like the mindset. Keep it in mind. Won't delete it later, but for this sake, let us stake out at night, do the tar and the grease and the charcoal, so that
That's
way,
good.
if they happen to escape, we can track them that way.
Nora, something else, perhaps might be a good idea. He said that there is no obvious entry. Do you think you would mind knocking on various surfaces here, looking for hollow spaces that somebody might be hiding in?
I mean, we can all do that.
Like under the floorboard. Well, I'm not very
Have to be me.
good. You are very perceptive. I am not.
Io. Could I animate my knife?
You know what? Fine.
No, I'll do
Yes,
it.
almost
I just
certainly.
don't
Could
understand
I-
why you're giving me
could I-
orders.
Could I animate my knife to deliver stabs to people?
Yes, although I believe that would be quite difficult, but I have heard of such a thing.
I'm gonna start tapping with like my heel and like knocking on things, and
I was also going to do that.
Zephyr.
I was
Any
also doing
chance?
that.
I could do investigation.
Or you could just give me advantage.
Zephyr's just gonna walk up to a
Investigation.
random unanimated
Okay.
object and stare at it and ponder whether or not it has a soul.
That was a very bad roll.
You're looking at Antonio's quill that you assume he uses for ledgers, and it does not look trustworthy.
His what?
I was saying you're looking at a quill on the
Oh,
counter, and it
quill.
just doesn't look trustworthy to you.
I'm like, well, that's even harder because he's staring at it and he's like, "You came from a living creature. You are a feather, but
Is he
now
gonna
you
start
are an
like
What's the
object.
deal
batting
with
at it,
that?
like
Do you have a soul? Are you alive?" Don't know.
I got a 10.
Right.
I got 6.
I just did not want to do what Io wanted me to do.
Yeah, you're both like knocking around, trying to like feel the floor and the walls. It doesn't seem like anything's out of the ordinary. It's wood, weathered walls.
Can
Um,
I
I was
use
going to take.
my stealth ability to try to find places things would hide?
Sure.
Sneak up on the hiding
Like,
spots.
rather than investigating for hiding spots, can I just use my, like, ability to hide to be like, that's where I would hide, and then, like, dive in a port of the wall and be like, nope, that's not a hole.
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth check. That'll be fun.
That's not a hole.
Just looking for the
You
best
could
place.
do like wisdom
No way.
plus stealth proficiency, or something magical like that. Don't worry about it.
Yep, I got another natural one. That's my second nat one.
Oh my God!
Is that for?
You got an. I saw the number there. That's awful because you would have done great if it was any other number.
Yeah,
I'm so
I
sorry.
have a +8 stealth.
He jumps into the wall, bangs his head.
Literally, like what I
Sees-
just
sees
described.
stars
Where
through it.
I look at the wall of cubbies and I'm like, I bet that one is like one of those secret magic passageways that gets bigger when you like enter it, and I just like dive towards a cubby and just like smack my face on the wall.
Like the cat trying to get through a cardboard box that's like way too small for it.
Yeah. Just like starts like shoving himself into a hole that his head doesn't even fit in.
All right. I was gonna just take a little bit of the tar in a in the I was gonna take a little bit of tar from her the tar that she has, mix it with like she's gonna get some pan like used pan or something and scrape off the like grime and stuff on that and like mix it together with some grease and just make like a really gross ink mixture that's hard to get off of things.
Alrighty.
And then I guess we will need to create some envelopes and put that in our cuppies.
Before we do anything else, Antonio, I
Yeah.
understand you're on hard times, but we are also in need of money.
Yes, I don't have much, but I suppose that I could pay you for your efforts, and I'm sure that those that are affected by this mail incident would probably be willing to give you something as well. We got some generous folk around here. Might not have much, but willing to
That
give.
would be marvelous.
So are you staying here for the night, or
As long as you don't mind, of course. This is your house and business.
is it okay? I've
Absolutely.
got my own room.
All right, could we just use have some of your postage and other things so that we can create some?
Sure thing. He goes behind the sliding door and gets some envelopes, some boxes, and then hands you stamps. Stamps of various like nautical things and flowers.
What if?
Nautical nonsense be something you wish.
What if
Mhm.
we made our own stamp of a very specific location that's easy to set up an ambush at,
Like the
Maybe
fountain.
that will be step 2 if
like
this
an
does not work.
alleyway. Like we literally just draw a picture of like
That's
the
what sounds
alleyway next to the building or something, and then we set up like a trap.
Do you know how hard it is to make a stamp?
You just draw. It's like some lines and then paint or something. I don't know.
You have to carve it into the stamp and then stamp it.
Well,
It's like an actual art form.
What stamp are you thinking of?
Okay, I don't think.
Like that kind of stamp? No, like
Yeah.
a postage stamp.
Oh,
See, but now, okay, hang on, because I will.
I'm so confused.
It's a letter.
Not once gotten because they also do that kind of stamp on it as well.
Okay, but I will.
That's the thing that
I
happens
will
on letters.
say, I understand why everyone would think of completely different things, but hypothetically, in a medieval scenario, the one that Lizzie's describing makes more sense. Because how would they produce like plastic peel-off sticky stamps
Well, it's
in
not
like
plastic.
or whatever it is? Like either
It's
way.
just paper with adhesive. It's just a tracking system for them to figure out who like paid to get their mail delivered.
They would find a way to make it adhesive.
Yeah, like they also have other stamps because you saw the league stamps.
Oh, wait, actually, though, I take that back because now my mind has been drawn to the stamps that they used in colonial America. and those were literally like you would literally buy like a page of stamps and then cut them out and stick them onto things.
That's basically
Mm.
the gist.
It's just me
I
not
I
understanding a simple thing
Well, then you just draw. You just draw
like 3 times in a row.
You just draw it. Someone here
the
can draw. He probably draws them himself.
the guy left, right? The
Antonio,
room.
I
Yeah.
think he left to go like get the stuff for you.
My accent's gotten
Okay,
too
while he's out, I was just going to be like, well, actually, I've got another thought that very well might happen. Um, this man is very stressed out, and he was stressed out, and then these events started happening. What if this dude is just sleepwalking? What if he wakes up in the middle of the night
And
because this happens more
catches the
often?
cubbies.
Perhaps, I mean, he's sleepwalking.
Those are claw marks. He doesn't have claws.
Right.
I mean, I won't dismiss the theory entirely. It'd be funny to me if he woke up in the middle of the night and slept in a bear onesie and came downstairs with his claws and was like, "Arr," you know?
You never know. There could be a postal werewolf. Um,
A waist-high postal werewolf. Yes.
he's not a tall man.
Yes,
Perhaps,
because he is a
perhaps
halfling.
a postal coyote.
Okay. So
Where a rat.
his lycanthropy triggers at night, and it is
Hmm.
simply the desire to deliver packages. Not bloodlust, not hunger, just to deliver packages.
Okay, totally off
You
track.
never know. The subconscious works in mysterious ways.
Completely off track, but I was super curious, so I googled it. And the guy that invented the adhesive postage stamp in 1837 was knighted for it.
Yes, we love to see it.
That's great.
I mean, I really like the creativity that you've gone into. Like, I imagine you could be a pretty good storyteller. Um, I think that's a little far-fetched, but
I am actually. I always think it is fun to come up with the most wild ideas because when you live in a world like this, there is at least somewhat of a chance you are correct, and then you will seem like a genius. Um,
Karena's sitting there right now like, fuck, Ryan figured it out.
I love listening to this. This is great.
um, I
What
was
if
going to
there is
just
no conscious force involved and it's actually just the packages are randomly teleporting to various locations for no
what
reason?
if the cubbies are actually cursed, but just in a very stupid way that just makes them teleport to wherever the stamps are.
What if the stamps are
Um,
magic?
I was gonna like finish making the packages and then putting tar on the underside.
Mhm.
So like, you gotta pick it up and they're gonna get tar on the hand, but not you can't see it before you pick it up.
Mhm. So for all of your like trap making, can you roll dexterity plus proficiency because you've made silly traps before?
Heck yeah.
Silly little Io with her silly little traps.
That's a four, five, no,
The
six.
only trap Nora knows is thirst trap.
You put you you put everything for the trap down and in place. You're not sure how well it's going to hold with the like amount of mixture with the tar.
Yeah.
It's like a little slimy, but it's down, and you can only hope.
I want you to know that my only other character idea would have only made traps just as much.
The first thought that came into my mind when making Nora was hot.
That was the same thing as Astrid.
Yep. And
All right, so it's about mid-afternoon by this point, so you can do other things in Wakefield if you choose to.
oh yeah, I saw some League of Lystia folks. Looked awful familiar, as in familiar with the place. They've been here before. Perhaps we can go talk to them,
Oh, good to me.
as seen as to why they thought that they were too good to handle male problems.
To be honest, this is if I wasn't hurting for money, this would be a little below my status as well.
All right,
Oh my
so you can leave and attempt to look for the three figures that you saw at the top. Nora, since you're the only one that you hold on, Nora, since you're the only one who knows what they look like, you can make a perception check to see if you see them.
22.
Yeah, so actually, kind of like lounging by the fountain, there's like benches adjacent to it, and there's a bunch of kids like playing with like chalk in the road in front. It's a very cute, very fun atmosphere. You see the three figures from before, just kind of like relaxing, like they're on some kind of lunch break.
What are their races, general ages?
Yeah, so one is elven, one is a gnome, and one is human.
Okay. Sorry, lollipop.
Is that a lollipop shaped like a snowman?
Yes.
That's good.
It was a gift from Ryan's mother. I'm gonna make my way over to the group by the fountain.
That almost sounded like a joke in some contexts. Just like, yeah, I got it from his mother. But like, I know it wasn't.
It's like somebody attempting a like
Your mom.
your mom joke, but
Hey,
like
that
just doesn't know how to do
Ryan's
it.
mom. It's like
Okay.
totally off track, but
Yeah, as you walk over, all of you can make another perception check.
Well,
Natural 20 plus 6.
Okay.
These eyes are peeled, baby.
18.
Well, it's actually your ears.
Oh, my ears are peeled.
As you're walking closer to them, you're not like directly walking to them yet, because that would be weird for this context. Anyway, you have to like come out of the corner of the thing. Anyway, you hear them kind of talking. They don't look worried, but their tones, like they're talking about something. You pick up words like the name Bethel, and just like whispers about being worried about the horizon and what their next plans are.
you said the name Bethel.
Beckel.
Bethel.
Beckl.
B as in boy.
Yes.
Okay.
Beckl. And they seem to have some kind of like not nervous tone, but they're just kind of like pseudo gossiping about like what seems to be just a little bit of a interesting thing going on.
I wonder if it's the guy whose head we chopped off. That'd be awkward. Anywho.
My chair may have fallen off of its platform, not once but twice.
You can
Actually, I
also
broke my platform. Hold up.
What was that, Karina?
You can also roll a history check if you'd like.
I would like. Thank you for asking. That is bad. 6.
Never mind.
I tried. Would anybody else like to roll?
What am I doing?
Well,
History
you're
check?
the only one that heard.
I'm just gonna like lean over and be like, they're talking about someone named Beckel.
Yeah, actually
And
wrong.
you pick out the horizon.
And like capital H horizon?
Mhm.
Interesting.
I got a 15.
I have no expectations.
But
No
you know.
way! I'm gonna go like, I'll be right back.
Io, you know
My
the
third
horizon,
one.
the like general government of Lisbon.
Oh,
How
yes.
in
That
British.
is is that the like council and everything?
Mhm.
That is the council that runs Verdun.
Listier as a whole.
Yeah.
You named it the horizon. That's cute. It's like a sunset, a sunrise.
There's another reason that I named it that.
Oh.
For another joke that well, it's not a joke. It's just a cute thing that I already told Ryan about.
Oh, so Ryan's in on it, but I'm not? Okay.
I'm sorry. One of us pays attention to government affairs.
Well, one of us is Karina's best friend for several years, so fuck it.
What? All right.
Sorry, Coles is emailing me about coupons.
I didn't make a character that cares about government things, and that's your fault.
Yeah. Obviously. Anywho,
Got him.
alright. Do you want to talk to them or do you want me to talk to them? You seem more their style with your armor and helmet and I'm Io.
Is that just a leaf?
Yeah.
You just ate a single leaf.
I didn't get the whole leaf in. Actually, alright. Uh, hello. How are you all? Are you representatives of the league?
You see, the elf kind of perk up. Oh, hello. We're not representatives, but we're surely a part of it. Is something you need?
Actually, yes, I was interested in understanding where would one register for joining the league?
Yeah,
Oh.
the headquarters of the league is up in Verdun. So that's where
Yes.
he looks around to his friends. That's where we signed up. So.
Nora's gonna slap Io's shoulder like that's not what we came to talk to them about.
Sorry, to be honest, I kind of forgot what we were talking about. The what are we here to talk about?
Oh my fuck's sake.
I would remember that. Ryan does not.
We are here
They're all
to
just kind of chuckling to themselves, like, what's happening?
we noticed that you seem, or at least the league seem to fill up it and complete a lot of the jobs on the job board, but not any of them related to the missing mail or interrupted deliveries. And we were wondering why not, and if not, we are looking into it and would like some leads.
Right, yeah, we'd heard about that. So people from the league, us different adventuring teams, as it were, come in and out of here all the time. So there tend to be a lot of notices that we pick up and stamp ourselves, just to keep the population, out of any danger that happens to present. But the mail thing, odd. I heard one team had started looking into it the other day, but then it just kept happening. And for some reason, I don't know if they were too incompetent to figure it out or if they were too bored. So,
It isn't exactly high priority.
yeah, we're mostly looking for, things that normal civilians should stay out of. I think that neighbors can probably make some kind of watch for letters, but they can't exactly slay monsters. So,
Speaking of which, have you heard of any bandit trouble on the roads around here?
even if I had, I don't think that I'm technically allowed to talk about that with those outside the league. So don't want
Noting
All
to.
right,
fellow
let us
adventurers.
frame it this way. It is your responsibility to protect the civilians of Listir. Say we are some people who are going to be on the road soon, and we want to ensure our safety as best as possible. What would somebody with your responsibilities tell us?
Make a persuasion check.
Can I get advantage because Nora is amazing, wonderful person?
No, I'm sorry, you're not doing anything.
That's a 15.
15 he kind of looks at all of you, notices that you're pretty well equipped to handle yourselves. Fine. There have been normal attacks. There almost always are. If there was anything absolutely dire, of course we would tell Wakefield, so there's nothing that you should be concerning yourself with. But I would keep an eye out for, people that like to hop on trade routes they're not supposed to, or loud rustling in the woods where it shouldn't be.
I appreciate it, but you should reconsider your position because we were accosted by bandits on the way here. And we have some reason to believe that will not be the last time it happens, but we will not be here to deal with the next one.
Well, definitely tell the others about that, though. I can't handle everything myself either. That's why we have so many teams.
Mm.
But either way, thank you for telling us. Report that. Is there anything else you need?
I don't need anything. Aya?
No, it is alright. We will head out.
All right. I guess I'll see you in bed and
Maybe.
Yes, that
Nora
sounds
just
good. What
walks
is your
away.
name again?
my name?
Mm-hmm.
Bias.
Bye.
Tobias. Was this the elf talking?
Hmm.
And the other two just didn't talk?
They were like laughing when he was laughing, but and you heard them talking to each other before you came up, but Tobias seems to be the one that was answering your questions.
Hmm.
Not everyone in the adventuring business is open to just conversation.
Okay,
I'm
wait.
trying.
I want my NPCs to talk to me.
They have names. They're just shy. I decided this earlier. I have it written down.
I don't know how much further we should go without Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't decide to do anything else before staking out for the night, then we can go to break.
Speak of the devil.
I was thinking about doing a bad idea, but I think this is a good way to stop me from doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you don't decide to do anything else,
What was the bad idea?
I was gonna throw a knife at one of them to test their reflexes.
What the fuck?
They're
No!
adventurers, they can take it.
That is
do
so.
what you want, but like
You're gonna be causing so
I'm
much
not gonna do it.
trouble.
I'm not gonna do it.
I just throw like
Even Nora wouldn't do that.
just throw something else.
I was getting twitchy. She wants to fight something.
You guys see
Dear
the new
God.
Spider-Man movie?
No, next weekend.
I haven't even seen the second one. Anyway,
I'm gonna leave it at that then.
Break
I
time.
don't
I
wanna
have
yeah,
to
if
go.
you don't want to do
Oh.
anything else,
I'm
Or
sorry.
Nightfall.
I can't believe I left right when you guys wanted to break.
we weren't sure.
By the way, I'm gonna announce my next character is named Moby Tobier.
That's
He's
very
gonna be an
Moby
artificer rogue.
Tobier?
Yeah,
Why?
It's
don't worry about it.
instead of
an
Toby.
artificer rogue, huh?
Oh.
What's it gonna make?
Yeah.
Little wrist
All right.
grappling hooks.
His signature spell is gonna be web. Anyway,
Should we be back at 9? We've been doing 45-minute breaks.
9 works for me.
I really don't need a 45-minute break today, but
I like the 45-minute breaks.
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of need a snack.
Mm.
But
Mental recharge.
mental recharge. So we'll be back at 9 o'clock.
Ding ding
Awesome.
ding.